Hello guys, this is Grylans from Sinister Swarm, and I will explain you very briefly the very basic stuff that you need to know from Tera Online. So, pretty much at first, your movement it's with W, A, S, and D, pretty much same with any FPS games, and you also can jump. Very basic. Also, bear in mind that there isn't any attacks while you're jumping, and usually when you jump, you're very susceptible to get knocked down. But I will save it maybe for another video, because there is a little trick involved with jumping. Now, for this video's sake, I reset my UI interface, and that's pretty much to show you that you can pretty much do whatever you want with the interface. Let's say you can grab the skill bars or the party. I'm partying with myself at this time, and also in the hotkeys you can expand it a little more, and also add another, there it is, another set of hotbars. There we go. Later I will explain a little more how to tweak a little more the interface. But also you have your quest tracker that you can also move or hide, and also minimize each one of them, or simply remove them from the quest tracker in the UI. And of course you can move your general taskbar, that you can access your character profile, your skills, your quest log. Let me close these other twos. Now I will stop here in the quest log, because to explain it a little more, you will have, there is a bunch of types of quests. Pretty much you have the story quests that are usually marked red, then you have your zone quest, that are usually marked yellow, your alliance quest, that for that I will also explain it a little more later. And finally your daily quest, that if you are not an elite member and that is paying a monthly fee, you only can do 10 each day. Moving on, we have the map, that you can hide that minimap, and your overall map. And basically that's the whole map of Tera. 3 major continents. Usually this area is for low level, this one is for mid level, and the last one is for in-game leveling and some dungeons. And as soon as you explore each one of the zones, you can click on there and see that region of the continent, and also you can expand it a little more. Also you can click in the blue color names to see the towns inside. Initially there is the merchant, the skill instructors, the specialty stores, and pretty much the most important ones are the teleport master, the trade broker, and the bank. That's the ones that you will mostly use during the game. Now, to customize a little more your interface, you press O and then go to UI settings. In here you can scale everything to a certain percentage, At default it's 90, but I usually prefer it at 75. If you see, everything will be reduced. And also I want the minimap very little, because it bothers me a lot, and also the hotbars that I need to find it. Oh, also the compass, the little thing. I also prefer it small. There it is, it's called shortcut tray. There we go. And of course I didn't save it. Oh, I also reduced the main menu. Pretty much when you are used to it, you will know exactly where the things are. There we go. Oh no, I'm missing the compass. There it is. Now always click OK to not deal with the same thing that happened to me. Oh, also, this little thing is your buffs and debuffs bar. Yep, that's pretty much what I'm used to have. Now, for all of you guys that enjoy the scenery and want to take pretty screenshots, you can press Ctrl+C to hide all the UI, and if you press it again, you will be in first-person view. Very neat in some cases. And press it again, and you will be back to normal. Now, going back a little more with the maps, you can pinpoint, so you can show the location in a hot link in the chat by simply going to the map, pressing M and holding Ctrl and then click, and there it is, the point of interest. And anyone who click it will be prompted the window with that location. Another way to show your exact location is typing /location and then pressing enter, and it will be the same. So pretty much that's the basic way. I will try to do it in party chat. There it is. So for example, if I choose this, it will be marked with an X. Very neat thing to do, to organize a little more, especially in the leveling times. Now, moving on a little with more customization in the UI, you can grab in chat tab and leave it wherever you want, or simply remove it. You can also edit it a little more regarding the size of the text, or the colors, or the type of information that you want to show in there. So let's hide it that again. Now let's see. Also, for a quick reference of the default hotkeys, you can always go to the system menu, then go to help, and then in the right of there will be key mapping, and pretty much it shows all the default hotkeys, be it inventory, help, skills, map, your profile, everything. Now let's go to profile pressing P, where you have all your equipment, your weapon, your armor, gloves, food, necklace, 2 earrings and 2 rings. And all of these little things that goes to the armor, weapon, earrings and rings are called crystals. These little things improves a little more certain stats. So pretty much every time that we're doing dungeons, we usually use anarchic crocs because they reduce the boss damage by 7.7%. And in the weapon crystal, it usually depends on the type of class you are or the game style you choose. Which circs to use is a little more complicated because first of all they are expensive, and second, more than class related, it's more about the game style you're using. Some of them prefer to use a little more attack speed, others prefer a little more critical chance, and some of them prefer either healing or more power to deal more damage. Now, in the lower part of the profile window, you will notice a lot of tabs that pretty much have all the stats with the numerical value. Don't stress too much on those stuffs because all in all, at first just try to get used to the game itself, and then we can start explaining each one of those little stats and what they actually mean. Now we have the costumes. Anyway, I'm using a high school costume at the moment because this is how my armor looks and yeah, I don't like it too much. And also I'm using a weapon skin because then again I really don't like the look of it. There we go. Right now I have the second best PvE gear, which is Wanderhome, but give me 1 second. Okay, so here is my boots. In Tera there is tiers in all of the year, and then game gear it's tier 14. Now the importance of that tier 14 is for enchant, and you can access that pressing the letter T, and that is that to enchant something you need a certain amount of alkalest and a sacrificial item that needs to be the same type of gear and also the same type of tier. Now, depending on the number of the enchant that you're aiming for, it's the type of alkalist that you need to use. But for now, only getting to +6, which is fairly easy and you don't need too much fodder items, and also the most basic type of alkalist, and once again the cheapest one, will be okay for now. And I will not touch the enchant system too much in this video, but we can always have a little more time in Ventrilo to explain it, or actually maybe later I will do a video solely for masterworking and enchanting. Masterworking is, now that I mention it, usually all the year that you can enchant, the max that it can get is 2+9, but some of the year you can masterwork and increase the enchant, so the max enchant to +12, and that means another type of alkalist. And to actually enchant, you need a Master Enigmatic Scroll that it doesn't drop too often, and for this chess piece I use it around 60 to 70 Master Enigmatic Scrolls. So at first don't bother too much about masterworking your year. Now going on in the same window of profile, you have the tab of dungeons, that it shows the amount of time that you have done your dungeons, and you always start as rookie. At 10 clears you will be skilled, and at 30 clears you will be maniac. And also in that dungeons and PvP stats, there is the stats of all the 3 instances that have a little personal rating, how many kills, deaths and assists in each one of them. Also, right now I think it's every 2 months those stats get resetted, but for now all that you need to know is Corsair Stronghold is the only instance that you can enter without any kind of PvP gear, because the instance at the battleground itself will give you automatically all the gear and jewelry to be there. The only thing that Corsair doesn't give you is the crystals, so you need to equip the crystal, but all the gear will be replaced, so it will be fair altogether within all the members of that battleground. Now in Freywind, which is a 15 versus 15 battleground, the gear isn't even, so try to avoid Freywind Canyon and Champion Skyrim the 3v3, at least at first, until you get a decent PvP gear. And finally in the profile we have the reputations, that at least at start the only ones you really need is Agnitor, and that is to get more Master Enigmatic Scrolls and you get that reputation. Doing Nexus, that I think that will go to another video once again, and Bellicarium and Killing Spree creates some reputation, that both of them are PvP related credits, so every time that you do any of the 3 battlegrounds you will get Bellicariums and Killing Spree depending on the type of battleground you choose, and also if you win or lose. The rest are depending on pretty much normal quest and killing a lot of ads and a lot of time, especially because you have only 10 dailies per day, and most of the dailies are involved with the reputations. Now if you press K you will access your skills. In the upcoming level up event, I'm not so sure if you will get all your skills for free. We as a guild will do something about it if you don't get all the skills for free, to at least give you enough gold to level up all the skills. But you can grab the skills and drop it in any of the hotbars that you have. Pretty much the first bar is 1 to 0 and the other 2 keys in the right of 0, and the top one is from F1 to F12. This one at default doesn't have a specific hotkey, but if you press O and go to shortcuts, you can pretty much customize it whatever way you like. And actually I'm using a Razer Naga mouse, so most of these keys go to my mouse. Now each one of those skills and these skills have a little thing called Chinese skills that at first your default hotkey to do it is space. I don't have any chain skills because personally I don't like it, but the game itself shows you a couple of defaults, a default preset for the chain skill, which is DS. So for example, if I use one of my skills, perfect. I don't know the chain skills by default of this character. I think for second wind, no. Well, let's use it for the shield bash one. This one is the chain skill, and mainly the reason that I don't use chain skill is because in one dungeon you are required to jump a lot of times, and having the chain skill in the spacebar the same bottom as your jumping skill, sometimes it will hinder yourself a little. Now, continuing with the skills, we have the alliance skills, which pretty much I will do another whole video explaining the alliance, and also all your mode skills. And actually in this character I don't have too much. But finally, one of the most important things about your skills, which are the glyphs. Once again, I'm not so sure with the level up event you will have access to all the glyphs. But we'll do something about it as a community. But starting at level 20, every time that you level up you will gain one more glyph point to use. At level 20 you will start with 10 glyph points. Now these little things, there is the normal ones that you can buy with gold, and there is advanced glyphs that you need to buy with different means, be it with tokens or with Belikarim credits, the Battlegrounds one. But each class, depending on the way they are playing, there is a set of skills that really need to be glyphed. Now, in our forums, Sinister Swarm forums, there is a couple of guides on a couple of classes, but if you don't see the guide for your specific class, don't be afraid to ask in the forums or in our Ventrilo. We will be more than glad to help you in your glyph build, because it's important. For a quick example, in the Lancer you really need shield barrage, threatening shield barrage glyph, because it increases 200% your aggro generation. And also you really need the threatening shield counter, and actually this one is an advanced glyph. Or now that I'm thinking a little more, the advanced glyph is to reduce the point cost, but those two glyphs are extremely important for all the Lancers if they want to tank nice, because without those you will not maintain the aggro too long. Now, in the game there is something called charms, that to use it. Oh, actually, before explaining the charms, I will explain the stamina. Stamina is something that the most you can have is 120% of stamina, and pretty much at max stamina you will get a buff in the amount of MP and HP your character will have. Every time that you attack and take damage, your stamina little by little will be decreasing, and if you die and you rest in town or by scroll or by a healer resurrection, you will be with 0 stamina or very low stamina. Let's leave it like that. But at that lower level of stamina you will get a debuff that, beside decreasing your normal HP and MP, it will also decrease your amount of damage that you will deal, and also your defense. So it's extremely important to maintain at least 100% stamina. The lowest acceptable is 80%, but even so it's very low. There is a bunch of ways to increase it, be it with runic panaceas that you need to use it outside of combat, and combat panacea that restore 40% of your stamina, and you can use it in combat. The runic panacea, it's dropped from pretty much anything in game with a very low chance, and the combat panacea cost like 5 or 6 gold in the specialty merchants in every small town. Now with the charms, the charms is like an additional buff that, depending on the type of campfire you burn it, it's the duration of it. But there's a bunch of charms, types of charms depending on the color. You have the yellow charms, let's say the light blue charms, and dark blue charms. And for example, these ones, well, let's say blue with a little purple charm and purple with a little blue charms. Now each one of those have a bunch of types of different charms, but the most usually used in red is the power charm, and the blue with a little purple, the endurance charm, and always in the last one we use infused, because it helps you regenerate quickly your MP. All of these, as a new player, don't worry too much. As you get more used to the game, you will understand a little more how to use it, and especially when to use it. But for example, let's use the default set of charms. you burn it in a campfire, and you need to have at least 48 plus stamina. See, there's a little burning effect that not so many people notice it. Finally, in your radar, you have those two little things, one for instance matchmaking and the other is for battleground matchmaking. The instance ones is for PvE dungeons, and there is a bunch of one that pretty much will matchmake with anyone across the game, not only from your server, because if I queue for, let's say, Shattered Fleet, one of the new dungeons, I can be with people not only from this server, Tyrannas. So usually all the queues for the end level dungeons don't take more than 10 minutes, and most likely if you're a tank or a healer it will happen instantly and you will be ported inside the dungeon. And the other one, the battleground, is for the, once again, the battlegrounds maps. You have Corsair, Freywind Canyon, Equalized, that not too many people use it. And finally, Champion Skyrim solo and ranked team. Finally, there is the parties, that at most you can be in a party of 5, and while you are in a party, you will get experience and credits for all the quests that you do in a party, only if you are close enough to them. But you can, the party leader can convert it to a raid. And of course I don't remember the hotkey for the raid, so I will check it again, because pretty much perfect, it doesn't show it. Let's go the other way. There it is. It's letter B. Convert it to a raid, and then in that raid there can be 4 parties with 5 members. But when you're in a raid, you will get very little experience, and you will not get the credits for the normal quests that you do while you're in a raid, except in Nexus and a couple of dungeons that require a raid. And also in the open world you will get less loot than you will usually get if you're in a party or soloing stuffs. And pretty much that's everything that you need to know to start playing the game, because this is the most basic stuff that you really should know to start doing, so to start playing it without too much problems. So thank you for hearing, and I will see you in games, guys. Hell Swarm!